Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. It's Jay Rye.
And Coco.
And
the star of the family.
The star of the family, Baby Dell. Absolutely. Thanks for coming back to the channel. It's the Coco and Jay Rye show. Oh yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us today. So today we're talking about why we love Fantasyland. So it's this whole series that we've been doing about places that we love, things that we love, and we want to share it with you and talk about all those details. And so we're going to talk today about why we love Fantasyland, specifically at Disneyland. So, and you can't start Fantasyland without, of course, the castle. Sleeping Beauty Castle is the entrance. It's the first thing you see as you're walking down Main Street, USA.
Looks beautiful on when there's like a blue sky.
It's gorgeous. It's such an icon, and as Walt himself said, you know, you have to have this icon when you come in to draw people in, to keep them like moving forward. He called it a weenie. You needed a weenie to get people to like, you know, go towards it. And so that's what Sleeping Beauty Castle is for Disneyland. And it's also the main entrance to Fantasyland. So what did you feel, what was like your favorite part? What do you want to start with from this most recent trip?
There were some pretty cool things that we discovered, or that I discovered. You already knew of them, of course. One being the Snow White area.
Let's start there. So instead of going through the castle, you can go on either side of the castle around the moat. There's an entrance to the left, which goes through the princess area. And then if you go to the right, you will pass the Snow White Grotto. So take a look at this. We're at the Snow White Wishing Well right here, the beautiful fountain. And they're just about to sing. This is part of why we love Fantasyland.
Oh, they sing?
Yeah. So the voice comes into the well. Did you ever see that?
No, I've never even been in this area.
So like in the movie, she sings into the well, and here she sings and then it echoes in the well.
Oh. That is so cool.
So you had never seen that before?
Never seen it before, and I was just, I mean, for a split second in that clip that we have, you could see where my face gets like really serious. Like, what, really? When you tell me that you could hear Snow White's echo coming through the well.
Yes.
I like if you know, take a still screenshot of that moment when I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like I went from like, oh, this is cool to, wait, what? Really?
Yeah, so it's great because it's a reminder of a time when Disney would build things that didn't have to be a giant attraction. They were just cute little nooks and crannies. And this Snow White Wishing Well, I don't know, every 15 minutes or so, the song starts and the fish start, you know, swimming around in the little pond. And Snow White sings and it echoes into the well like she's talking about. So super cute.
Super cute. And the story of where Walt got these, I mean, we don't really know where exactly, but a friend made
They were a
statues,
gift to him.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were given to him, and so the mistake that the guy who made them, woman, whoever made it for him, made was that Snow White was the same size as the drawers.
Right.
Or the drawers. And yeah, and so that's why Snow White is sitting much higher.
So in order to offset that they were this, exactly. So they put her on top. Wow, what a good memory.
I know. Well, I mean, that really stood out.
Who taught you that giant Disney fact?
I don't know.
I mean, it couldn't have been me because you don't listen to me. So it must have been somebody else.
I do listen.
Wow.
She
She remembered the Snow White story.
I do.
So we came in that side of the castle, and then literally just as we turned the corner, you walk through, there was a photographer right when we walked in, and they were doing a special photo shoot inside the castle courtyard there for season pass holders. And so there was no line, so we were like, oh, let's jump in here. And it was so cool because these were two, to us, they were new. I don't know how long they've been doing these, but two really special photo shoots. So one is Peter Pan's shadow, which you can see here. So again, when you take your pictures with the photographer, you get this, you get these special effects shots, right? And so one of them here, right, is Peter Pan's shadow, which they add in, and then it gets downloaded into your Disney app. And then the second one was a really pleasant surprise, was Olaf. And so Olaf has got his little snow cloud above him. And super cute,
Right, and we got there like at the perfect time because, I mean, when we passed by the second time, there were lines.
Insane.
Yeah, to get pictures taken.
I would not have waited for that photographer
absolutely
the second time around when it was like 6 people deep or whatever.
Yeah, we got there very
We're
early
so
and it
spoiled.
worked out quite well.
Yeah.
We got to do a lot of stuff.
For sure. So another great thing of why we love Fantasyland, if we just come right through that castle area, right through the courtyard, what was the first thing you said?
We took pictures with the sword.
Sword in the stone, right. So, and then she said, when I was a kid, I got picked. I pulled the sword out.
It was quite the spectacle.
And here's the footage of Coco doing that as a kid. Right. Oh, wait. We don't have any footage of that. She's making it up.
I'm not. I swear it happened.
Everyone believes you. We totally believe you.
I remember when
it was such a momentous moment in your life,
but
there's not a single photograph.
When that little old man and I locked eyes, I was like, oh shit, just kidding. No,
the
not
little
me.
old man?
Yeah, the sorcerer guy.
The tall Merlin?
Yeah. Him.
Little old man, and then we went. We took Del on the carousel. So Sword in the Stone is the movie to which King Arthur tries to pull the sword out, and the carousel is named after him. So we took Del on the carousel, and here's a little bit of that. Yeah, so that was really fun because it's a Del speed, right? I mean, most of Fantasyland is, and
he had no idea what was going on really, but he seemed to enjoy it.
He will when he watches this in a few years. He'll get it. That's what all of this is. This is all a loving scrapbook to the children and anybody else, And then, when you're in that first area of the courtyard, there's a lot of the classic Disney stories. So you've got. To the left, you've got Snow White, which they just redid. Here's some of Snow White. What's funny about how they redid Snow White, is that if you remember the old version, it was Snow White's Scary Adventures, and it was very dark. And so now the story is lighter, friendlier. It's not like the witch trying to murder you anymore. So they've definitely, lightened it. And the next story that's right next door to Snow White is Pinocchio, and that one needs the next lightening. Because when you go in there, the ride is so dark, so much of the time you can barely, unless you know exactly what you're looking for, you kind of miss things. Do you remember Pinocchio?
I sometimes feel pain of watching the diamond chains.
Yeah, I mean, even that is kind of harsh because it's like Stromboli's yelling at you. He puts you in a cage. Then you got turned into a donkey and put in a crate, and then Monster's going to eat you. It's like, I mean, they're really dark when they redid these stories.
Right.
But we still love Fantasyland. And Coco really wanted to go on the train. She's like, oh, I want to go on the train, meaning the Casey Jr. train, right? And this is the only park that has Casey Jr. So Casey Jr. is from the movie Dumbo. Mm-hmm. So Casey Jr. and Dumbo are, right next to each other. And it wasn't open for us to ride, but we'll catch up on it another time. But we had a lot of fun instead of Casey Jr. going on Dumbo. So let's take a look here at Dumbo right here in Fantasyland at Disneyland. Super fun. I mean, it's the simplest spinner ride ever, but you're in a flying elephant.
Right.
And
it's fun. I have fun in it because of the control where you can go up and down. I was having fun with that.
Oh, for sure. And I will say though, it was a questionable call by the cast member to put all three of us in the same Dumbo. We got on that thing and I could hear Dumbo like creaking, "Help me, help me!" He's like, "Oh yeah." So yeah, Dumbo was really cool. What else? What else did you love about Fantasyland, babe?
Well, the teacup ride is a must.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
And I know it's in Fantasyland, but it's like outside of Fantasyland, kind of, sort of. So yeah, like all the times that I go to Disneyland.
It's not really outside. It's not really the border.
No.
Because Matterhorn is Fantasyland.
Oh.
And all of Small World is.
Okay, well, it's not like super connected to all of those story rides.
So technically the teacups are like, it feels like it's the edge because it's like the parade goes there. So there's big separation, right? But yeah, technically Fantasyland goes all the way to the Matterhorn, all the way to, the little moat that they're not using anymore.
What about
to Small World?
Oh, okay.
Small World's in Fantasyland too, yeah.
Ah.
Anyway, we said teacups. Yes, you can't mention teacups without showing the teacups, and here they are. Leave it to Coco to be on the phone on the teacups.
On the phone with your mom.
And of course, the sister attraction to the teacups is
the Alice in Wonderland ride.
Alice in Wonderland.
Story ride.
Love Alice, and
he does. Show him your shirt.
I know, right? So this is
Alice in J-Rye World.
How about that? Yeah. So Coco's friend Saida made that for me. So thank you so much, Saida. It was really sweet of you. And so, yeah, Alice in Wonderland, a super fun dark ride. I think it's the best dark ride of all of them because
I love all the neon lights in there.
It's so creative and how you're in the caterpillar and then you come down the leaves. And I think that, because they built that one last, it wasn't open on opening day. It's like the extension. That's why it's not in the courtyard. I think they made it better than the rest, just my opinion. But yeah, let's celebrate Alice here.
Mr. Rabbit, wait, please.
He went this way. No, that way. Late for the important date. All right, to say hello, goodbye,
With their heads.
And so on our day here where we were taking Dell around, we were like, okay, well, let's get as much done in Fantasyland as we can. And so then we ran out to Small World. Mm-hmm. And Small World, this is amazing. You can tell it's a total difference from Christmas time where it's like a madhouse.
Lit up.
This footage that we're showing you right now is from February of 2022. And it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh, we know exactly what time it is because the clock went off. It's 9:15. Oh! It's 9:15, Dad. Tell them the truth. Okay, got it. Thank you, bud. Anyway, so Del went on Small World, and literally they walked us right down the accessible ramp because they weren't even sending us around the regular bridge or anything because it was like that quiet in the morning.
Right.
So that was fun. So we
there
got
very early.
yeah. So here's some of Small World, of course. Yeah, Small World. You know that ride is approaching 60 years old. Wow. And it's part of why we love Fantasyland. It's one of my mom's favorites. I love to razz her about it.
Staple for sure.
You know, like, okay, I could get really annoyed with it really fast, you know, but hey, I still celebrate and I'm honest that the history of it is just, it's great. It's one of Walt's, you know, greatest achievements from the 60s, from, you know, that optimistic era of peace and love and everybody in the world coming together. You know, when the world was in this, almost where we are today, in this like nuclear scare, you know, where America was against Russia and it was like who was on what side of the world. And they build It's a Small World of lovely children from all over the world, singing and dancing. And so we love Fantasyland for Small World, for all these things that we've been talking about. And then if we're coming back down the parade route, we just mentioned it a moment ago, but of course there's the Matterhorn. Now, Now, Del, obviously too small for the Matterhorn, but like, okay, now you skipped the Matterhorn this time.
Yes.
But give me your take on the Matterhorn.
Oh my God, Matterhorn is so old.
Yeah. Do you know when it opened?
I don't know when it opened, but I remember, you know, that ride since I was a little girl.
Oh, yeah.
Remain seated, please.
It was a ride when my mom was a little girl.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I don't know, all this, like, I feel like it hasn't changed. It's fun roller coaster. It's not very fast, but it's fun. It's great.
It's not very fast. Interesting. So it was built in '59. It was the first steel tube roller coaster in the world. Okay, and you got to understand that for that ride being 63 years old at this point, I don't even believe how it's standing, to be quite honest, because there weren't the same construction standards back in those days. But literally, that ride has to keep all its momentum as it's just going down. Like, have you ever noticed that? There's no lifts. There's no extra pushes.
I mean, there's the first lift.
Well, of course, but that's what I'm saying. It takes you to the top, and then it's like a kid's toy, and you wind your way down. It's the only way you have any of your speed.
And that is why it's slow.
And it's not that wide. So you can only get as much speed as it can go around, you know. Anyway, this is why we love Fantasyland. So we're talking about Matterhorn. Again, excellent, really fun ride. Del, you're going to get on there one day when you're a little bit bigger. But we forgot a few things if we come back into the heart of Fantasyland too. We didn't take him on Mr. Toad this time, but I've done a whole separate episode with my buddy Aloha Nick about Mr. Toad. Here's a little piece of that.
The weasels! The weasels! Hi! Mole, mole, mole! Oh, where are we going? Maybe we can just get a drink here. What do you think? Oh, watch it, guy! Winky! Look at that mustache, baby. He's got out of the ride. What do you think, Jason?
I love Toad. It's so much fun.
It's my favorite ride here, and I just have to say that Ichabod is cray-cray.
Such a killer attraction, and again, when they redid Fantasyland in 1983, it's odd because it's like they really had like a dark tinge on everything.
Right.
Mr. Toad breaks the law, goes to jail, then goes to hell.
No.
You know, Snow White, the witch was trying to murder her. Pinocchio, they turn you into a donkey and the whale wants to eat you. So there's a theme going around here. But anyway, Mr. Toad still, if you can block over the subliminal messages. Oh, yes. You don't like hearing about You don't like hearing about Mr. Toad going to hell. My bad. Sorry, Joe. So there's that. And then what is usually the longest line of all of the dark rides for Fantasyland, of course, is Peter Pan. This line is the one that people rush to when the park opens. And I mean, it's not unusual for it to have a 45, 50-minute wait within the first hour. Like, boom, like so fast. And luckily we had a little bit of pixie dust, so we did not have to wait in that kind of a line. Here's a little bit of Peter Pan.
Come on, everybody, here we go! On to Neverland! Cast off in London, pixie dust!
So dark, but at the same point, like, what a genius contraption that you're flying around in Peter Pan's boat with the pixie dust. Again, like, just so clever, on how they came up with that. And that is an opening day attraction. So that ride is approaching 70 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been remodeled a little bit, but it's still, Fantasyland is also one of the best places to watch the fireworks. So depending on which fireworks show they have over the years, some of the fireworks even launch from the castle.
That's where I used to think all of the fireworks used to launch from until you said they launch from Toontown.
It would appear that way if you're watching the fireworks from Main Street, because they're all coming up behind the castle, which is the point. It's just from a safety perspective, it didn't make sense for people to. This is this new thing. It's so funny.
Day 2 of him.
There's not a great way for them to launch pyrotechnics from on top of the castle because there's just not like any flat area on it. So it does launch behind Toontown. But during some of the shows, they do come like right from the castle, which is pretty cool too. And I'll also say that one of the other things I love about Fantasyland is that is that the parade cuts right through Fantasyland. So any parade that you're watching is going to cross right in front of the castle. It's going to cross right through between the Matterhorn and the teacups, and then it goes off stage out at Small World, and that is super cool. Yeah, you tell him, buddy. But that's, I mean, the parades are really awesome, and I think that there's some footage here from the electrical parade, which is a classic parade that's come and gone many times. It's coming back again in 2022. What a shock! Every time they say it's glowing away, it comes back again. And I have a lot of nostalgia for that because this is the 50th anniversary of it. And it premiered the same year that I was born. So
nice.
Yeah, so it's gonna turn 50 before me though. So just watch the age jokes. But anyway, so yeah, Electric Parade is coming back, and I think one of the other things that I love about Fantasyland, we started the episode with the castle, and I think let's also end it with the castle. One of the things, the castle is also gorgeous to film at Christmas time, as you can see here. It's so beautiful when it's all lit up with the iridescent icicles and all of that. But I would always make this joke to my friends, and I would say, if you just walk across the front of the castle and just wave, you'll end up in someone's picture from another country. Because it is like the most photographed place. I don't know scientifically, but like that is always where they have the most photographers and they have the most people waiting in line to take pictures with the professional photographers and with their own cameras. So yeah, anyway, consider yourself a world traveler by just walking by and photobombing people. Not in an obnoxious way, but like, just wave nicely and you'll go all the way around the world and be part of somebody's photo. What's going on with you? Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. All right, Mom, you give the final thoughts on Fantasyland.
Yeah, so Fantasyland is great, family friendly. 3-month-old babies. I mean, he got on a lot of rides. He got on the teacups. He got on Peter Pan. He got on Dumbo. He got on, what else? The Carousel. He got on Small World. So, I mean, 5 rides for a little 3-month-old.
Yeah.
We were in line for the teacups, remember? And some girl standing in line next to us was like, oh my God, I have a little one too. She's over there with the grandparents.
Yeah, so there's so many reasons why we love Fantasyland. Why do you love Fantasyland? You hit us up in the comments. Join the conversation. Like, subscribe, comment below. Say hello. Tell us what you love. Tell us what we got wrong. Anyway, it's J. Rye World right here on Instagram and on YouTube. We really appreciate you being here and supporting the channel. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.